YetiRadio.com, we salt our margaritas, not sidewalks, on the Phoenix music scene.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Yeti, and welcome to the YetiRadio.com and the Phoenix music scene. Tonight, we got a live interview via Skype with Mr. Joshua Strickland of the BAYOU Bandits, formerly of Walker, Louisiana, now having their home right here in the Phoenix Valley. First up, we're going to have the song Take Me Back. Here's the BAYOU Bandits.
Shine my face since I made my way out west, since I've been tied to fate. Here don't hold a candle to that home I left behind. I need that southern comfort to ease my troubled mind. I hear people saying you can't never go back home. I don't think they've ever lived this life I've come to know. But this'll be my resting place no matter where I roam. So if I die before I get there, won't you send my body home? So take me back, baby, where the child in me lives and breathes. Take me back, mama, way out past New Orleans, where it's dark at night except the pale moonlight. This one plays a perfect scene. So take me back, mama, way out past New Orleans. Well, it's been 10 long years since your sun has shined my face, since I made my way out west, since I've been tied to fate. Here don't hold a candle to that home I left behind. I need that southern comfort to ease my worried mind. So take me back, baby, where the child in me lives and breathes. Take me back, mama, way out past New Orleans, where it's dark at night except the pale moonlight. This one plays a perfect scene. So take me back, honey, way out past New Orleans. Where the southern pride, it runs deep inside. So don't you tread on me, motherfucker. Take me back, baby, where the child in me lives and breathes. Take me back, mama, way out past New Orleans, where it's dark at night except the pale moonlight. Swan plays a perfect scene. So take me back, honey, way out past New Orleans.
That was the BAYOU Bandits, and live on Skype right here in the Yeti Studios on the YetiRadio.com and the Phoenix music scene. It's Mr. Joshua Strickland. How you doing tonight, sir?
How y'all doing?
Doing awesome. Glad you could be here for the interview, sir.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
So we'll start off with introduce yourself and tell us about the band.
So my name's Joshua Strickland. I'm the lead singer and the founder of the BAYOU Bandits. Originally from a small town right in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a small town called Walker, Louisiana, and Livingston Parish in South Louisiana.
Awesome. The Yeti's old stomping grounds.
Yeah, it's the old stomping grounds.
So what got you into music?
Well, my daddy could always sing, and my older brother was always a great singer. And so my daddy, he would always teach me these old country songs, you know, like old Hank Sr. and you know, just a lot of old Southern gospel songs as a kid. And then my brother is about 15 years older than I am. You know, I used to always listen to him growing up singing, and I used to try to emulate him. And so sometimes on the weekends, you know, when my daddy had to go do business down in New Orleans or whatever the case, my family would let me dress up and go sit on well, not really dress up, I guess dress down, but and sit on the street corner right there on the corner of Bourbon Street in Iberville, right in front of the old Absinthe House and right on the steps of Jackson Square in New Orleans. And I would just bring a guitar and a guitar case and just try to play for a little bit of chump change. And you know, that's where I started, man. I mean, in the South, especially in South Louisiana, music is not just something you do. It's just it's a part of who you are and the culture that you're brought up into. There's music everywhere, you know. Definitely.
Probably one of my favorite movies of all time is probably Crossroads.
Oh yeah, Crossroads, absolutely. That's Mississippi. That's your neck of the woods.
Yeah, but I think the only thing that separates us on that's the Mississippi River. So.
Oh man, you ain't lying. You know, because see, me where I'm from in Walker, it's only about 40 minutes, maybe a little bit less, about 30 minutes or so to the Mississippi line up there by Woodville, Mississippi. And so I identify with Mississippi just as much as I do Louisiana. You know, I grew up going to Tunica Hills as a kid, hunting down there in Poplarville where Brett Favre is from. You know, all that area of Mississippi. You know, Britney Spears, she's from Kentwood, Louisiana, but she went to school right across the state line in Mississippi. So, you know, and Britney Spears grew up, you know, right down the road from where I'm from. So, you know, like you said, ain't nothing but the Mississippi River dividing us, because Louisiana, Mississippi, if you're from one of those places, you can live in the other.
Absolutely. And I know being from down on the coast, Gulfport, I grew up in Long Beach, but I've also got family up in Poplarville. So.
Oh yeah, Poplarville. Yeah, many great memories out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. But let's see. How did you and the rest of the band come together?
So when I moved out here, you know, I always wanted to continue playing music and, you know, really start trying to make a little bit of money playing music. And so my older brother, he was stationed out here as a recruiter. And so when I wound up coming out here, him and I just got together and we decided to form a little duo. And then eventually we found some buddies, namely our lead guitar player, Jeremy, who's been with us since day one. And we just started playing, and then we started gigging at all these bars, and we really earned our stripes as a cover band. And so then my brother wound up retiring from the Army, and wound up going back home to Louisiana, which, you know, all my family's back home in Louisiana. And so Jeremy and I decided to revamp the band and basically start from scratch. But we wanted to make our own music. We had already played all the biggest stages in the Southwest between here and Mexico and Texas, different places like that, and as a cover band. But we really felt, at least in a personal sense, that we wanted to establish a sense of credibility as real true blue musicians, and that is, making our music, and the sound that we wanted to sing, and that's really where it all came about. And so then we revamped the band, and we actually had a corporate gig one night, and they needed a band name, and so on the fly, I just said the Bayou Bandits, and they were like, well, all right, we'll call you the Bayou Bandits then. And so ever since, it just kind of stuck, So
You gotta love it when it happens like that.
oh man, it was all right off the cuff.
Awesome. Who would you say your biggest influences are?
My biggest influences musically would have to be Dr. John, who just recently passed away this past year. Love Dr. John from Dr. John and the Nightcrawlers. New Orleans legend. I mean, world class musician. And Creedence Clearwater. Love Creedence. And definitely, Marshall Tucker, Leonard Skinner, The Doors, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Let's see. What's the best advice you've been given?
Best advice I've ever been given was growing up. I always wanted to be able to sing like my brother. I even to this day I still admire the way he sings. Because as a little brother, you always look up to your big brother. And so I always wanted to be just like him. And so the best advice though was as a teenager. My daddy used to see me always trying to emulate my brother, And so my daddy said, the best advice he ever gave me as far as music goes is to find my own voice. And so that's what I did. And, luckily I've always been a singer. You get some folks that play guitar and sing, but at the end of the day, they're known for being a good guitar player. Me, I play guitar. I'm a rhythm player, but at the end of the day, everybody knows me, because I'm a singer. I can sing the blues. I can, sing gospel. I can sing the national anthem, and so it's just, a craft that I've owned, over the years. And really, it's just, I just needed to find my own voice.
Right. The amazing advice from your daddy. That's you took it and ran with it. So.
My daddy's a pretty smart man.
Well, it shows in the music. You definitely ran with that one, and got an amazing voice with all this music. You guys put it together really, really well.
No, I appreciate it. It's as real as it gets. We released our very first single last year in 2019 from a world-class record studio out here called the Salt Mine. And the owner of the Salt Mine, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Don Salter, really said it best whenever he was interviewed in a magazine on our behalf, is that, that whenever you hear me sing, you can feel the grit and the emotion of what the message I'm conveying. And, it's kind of, like for me, when I sing, I sing from the heart, because that's how I feel, But and so like when I think about it like that, how other people uh, perceive it. I think it's I think it's kind of cheesy for me, to believe, oh, he sings from the, the heart, and all this other stuff. But the way other people perceive it, is really something when I look at it, on the outside, because I'm like, to me, I'm just doing, what I naturally, do, because, it's not some big philosophical thing, but to other folks, I mean, they just hear the raw emotion because, I just turned 28 years old a few months ago, but I've gone through some pretty crazy things in my young life that I guess it just folks say it all comes out, whenever I'm really just belting something out, so. It's been kind of an interesting, take on different people's perspectives of my voice. So
Definitely, still you can feel, when I listen to it, you can feel your soul.
Exactly.
When you sing. So it's very awesome. So what's the craziest thing that's happened to you on tour or at a show?
Man, there's so much. Gosh. Well, I mean, I've had a lot of folks and big bands that have come up and joined me on stage and jumped on stage with us and like done a duet, just rocked out, in the whole 9 yards. Typical. No, I mean, there's some crazy stuff that I can't really. There's been a lot of crazy stuff, but mainly it's just the flashing. We get women that flash us, and all that type of stuff. But I'm trying to think. Oh, so we had a. That's one thing, and I mean it's not even really all that funny. Actually, it's not funny at all. So we had. It wasn't really a stage prop, but he was sort of like our mascot, if you will. And so it was a big old gator head. Like I'm talking, it was a big old gator. And we used to take that thing everywhere. His name was Chompy. And so, and it was a very sentimental thing, because, I'm a Louisiana man, and I love Arizona, but, I'm, Louisiana's what made me. I didn't even leave there till I was a grown man. And so, I had this gator from all the way down to Louisiana and brought him to over 1,000 something shows. I'm talking, between here and Mexico, across the country, I mean, everywhere. And there I was. We just happened to come off stage to take some pictures with some fans. And no sooner than I turned back and looked, someone done ran off with the gator head. And that was probably one of the more pissed off moments because that was like a pretty sentimental thing. And so, but we have thus got a new gator head that we have JB welded to a pole.
Ain't nobody running off with that.
You ain't getting away with this time.
Awesome. Let's see. So if you could open for any one artist or band, just one, who would it be? And I know that's a tough question.
That is tough because, folks ask me all the time, what do I listen to? But the truth is I listen to everything, like if I'm in a rap mood, I listen to, a guy from back in Louisiana is from, Baton Rouge, a guy by the name of Lil Boosie. But, I listen to a lot of blues. I listen to a lot of rock. I listen to a lot of country. I listen to everything. And, and folks say, well, what's your go-to station? I say, you'd be surprised, but it's actually Dave Matthews. I love Dave Matthews, which is the complete opposite end of the spectrum of what we play. But if I had to open for any one band, man, that's a hard question. It would have to Does it have to be like now, or could I like transport back in time?
You can transport back in time.
Leonard Skinner. It would have had to have been Leonard Skinner back in like their heyday, not like the Leonard Skinner the Leonard Skinner that plays now obviously is great. You know, I mean they're like, you know, they're all, you know, just different members of the original band. I would have liked to have opened up for Leonard Skinner or the Allman Brothers back in the day, because I love the Allman Brothers.
Awesome. I that would have been my guess.
Yeah.
Just after the short time we've got to talk before the interview and during the interview, that definitely. Okay, so where will you be in the future, and where can people come see you?
All right, let's see. In the future, well, we're going on tour in March, so we're calling it. It's pretty much like a mini tour, so it's about two and a half weeks. We've labeled it the All Roads Lead Home Tour, because it's the first time I've gone back home and I've done acoustic shows and, you know, like little one-offs, you know, here and there, but it's the first time that our full band has actually really gone home, and, you know, especially once the record just came out, because we just cut a record about 2 months ago. We recorded it at awesome studio with, you know, one of the greatest producers ever, a gentleman by the name of Michael Beck. He does all the Alice Cooper, Proof is in the Christmas Pudding, Proof is in the Pudding, you know, contests, and he's done a lot of cool people, and great singers have gone in and out of that studio. But so this is the first time we're actually headed back home and through the South and Southeast to promote the record, and you know, we're really lucky. You know, so well, before that, we're actually going to be doing a show on February 21st with a band called the Coltrane's and Drew Cooper. They're two big names out here. They play a lot of like the Roger Klein Mexican moonshine circuit. They were down at Circus Mexicus and all that other stuff. So they're real big front runners in the you know, original music scene out here. Then on February 29th, we're doing a showcase, and that show with the Coltrane's is actually down in up in Wilcox, Arizona. So that's their stomping grounds, and so you know, but they're a real well-known band. And so then on February 29th, we got a show right here in Old Town Scottsdale, doing a showcase with Sarah Robinson. Amazing singer, love her stuff. She's got that very bluesy, sultry sound, so it's going to be awesome. You know, matter of fact, I can't really think of another band, either, you know, local or regional, that would be more suited, you know, with our genre than Sarah Robinson. And so we're doing a showcase with her at Rock Bar, February 29th, and then the tour. So we're starting out here and headed all the way back to Louisiana. So we're going to be playing down in Denham Springs, Louisiana. That's actually going to be our homecoming party. You know, we're titling it Josh's Homecoming Party. It's going to be right there in my parish at Dirty South. Then we're headed up to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, back in your neck of the woods, to play a real famous music joint called the Government Street Grocery. Then the next day, we're headlining a big music festival down at the Jefferson Davis House right there in Biloxi, at the Beauvoir House, with a real big band from down south called the Honey Island Swamp Band. World-class musicians that have toured all over the world. I mean, I try to tell folks, man, you know, I've been all over the world, whether it's with the Army or anywhere. You got great musicians, you know, in every corner of the earth. But when you go back home, especially down to New Orleans, you know, down to Louisiana, down to Mississippi, it's a totally different type of music, totally different type of musicians, and you got to bring it when you bring it. You know, I mean, because them boys down there, they play. You know, they can make some music down there. In my opinion, that's where music was born. Was right there in the Mississippi River Delta, right where we're from.
And if you don't bring it, they will let you know you didn't bring it.
Oh my God, and they just got that groove, that swag, that that can't be emulated unless you were born and raised there, and that's what I try to bring with my stuff. So we're gonna be down there in Biloxi, headed up to Panama City, Florida, back into Baton Rouge, and then ending it coming through Texas. So we're gonna still try to pick up a spot somewhere down in Texas, if we have an open date left, and then finishing it up at a big venue down in Tucson called Whiskey Roads on the last stop of the tour, then back into Phoenix.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to, because if I'm not mistaken, you will be on the Phoenix music scene again for that first show in Phoenix, if not the rest of them.
Absolutely.
So looking forward
Us Southern folks got to stick together, man.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to putting those playlists together, and it's a fun event every week to sit down and put the list together and make all the posts and let everybody know that they're going to be on the Phoenix music scene. That way, anybody can come check it out. And if you like what you hear, I also tell you where they're at so that you can go check them out. So hopefully, just trying to do a little bit of my part. It's a hobby, and it's a lot of fun. I get to listen to music that the rest of the world doesn't get to unless you follow those bands or you come listen to my show. So
absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Strickland of the BAYOU Bandits right here on the YetiRadio.com and the Phoenix music scene. We're going to close out the interview with a song called Gumbo, the first release off of their new EP. I hope you enjoy.
I spent the day out in the heat, working with these dirty hands. When I get home, I'm hungry. I think you know what that means. 'Cause in the kitchen you are waiting to make that gumbo with me. I love your gumbo, baby. It's so spicy and it's so hot. You really get me going when you're stirring up that pot. When I get home, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for my Cajun queen. 'Cause in the kitchen you are waiting to make that gumbo with me. Let's make some gumbo, baby. Make it spicy, make it sweet. Let's make some gumbo, baby. Daddy's hungry, it's time to eat. Let's make some gumbo, baby. Kettle fire's burning hot. Let's make that gumbo, baby. Here I come, ready or not. And it's so hot. You really get me going when you're mixing up your pot. When I get home, I'm hungry. I think you know what I mean. 'Cause in the kitchen you are waiting to make that gumbo with me.
that was Mr. Joshua Strickland right here live on Skype in the Yeti Radio studio on the Phoenix music scene. Check those guys out, the Bayou Bandits at thebayoubandits.com. They've got links for all their music and links for all their social media, so you can check those guys out there, and obviously you're going to get to check them out a little bit more right here on the Phoenix music scene for the shows that are coming up next month. So stay tuned, and remember, only you can prevent empty venues. Support local music, and it all starts right here on the Phoenix music scene.